Hello, hello. Gonna do a quick mic check. Alrighty, I think it's working. Sounds all right to me. So, last thing to do is change the cameras. One second. Alrighty. How's everyone doing today? Hey, Des. Alrighty. um, Hello. Hope everyone's having a good week. I am going to be doing a new cat painting, not this one, but while I'm going to finish setting up, I figure I'll leave the old painting up for a minute. Would have been completely set up and ready to go, but I forgot that I had to add time and calculate that, add time to setting up for feeding the animals. Forgot about that. All right, let's get the brushes. We'll see how it goes today. I have a plan. I don't know if it'll work, but I do have a plan. So, once again, I'm going to be doing a small cat painting. I don't think it'll be ready in time for the art fair because the art fair is in 2 days, but whatever. Says, I'm sorry your dog is bugging you. Animals can be that way. I totally get it. They are very annoying sometimes. I love them, but they can still be annoying. Even when you love them, they can be annoying. All right. This one is going to go to dry. And we have another small one. Ah, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough, when they get to that age, it's tough. I'm sorry you have to deal with that. All right. You think he's just wanting your attention? Who knows? Who knows? I have to go put this fan outside of my room, facing into my room. My room feels like an oven at the moment because while I'm streaming, I'm also trying to encode some video so that I can save some space on my hard drive because it's literally filling up and I'm running out of space. So I'm trying to downsize some video. And my GPU is functioning as a heater right now. It got cold where you are? Not here. Still really hot. This is all kinds of messed up right now. Okay. I don't know why it was all messed up, but we'll do it this way. Come on, camera. All right. It's yeah, I think it's stretched out too. I don't have a what's it called? I do not have a template for this size, so I'm gonna have to eyeball it. I think that looks okay-ish. I'm gonna call that good enough. That says our leaves are all changing red, orange, yellow. Really, really pretty. That's nice. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't notice the weather change all that much here. Like, obviously, I notice between like, what's it called? How can I put this? I noticed the overall seasons, like when it gets really cold and rains all the time versus when it's very, very hot. So obviously I recognize the seasons to a degree, but it's mostly just when it's in those extremes because even during summer it rains. We had to watch out for hail in the summer, it's like okay. So in the winter we're going to have to worry more about snow and loss of power from that, but I don't know. I guess it doesn't feel all that different. I definitely couldn't tell you that it looks any different. Like I do not notice all the leaves changing colors or anything like that. Like I said, I doubt there's any chance this painting can be done like dry in time, but I'll give it a shot. And need to remember to put in some more marbles. I just use like tiny little marbles, like they're not even real marbles, they're just like glass, decorative marbles. I just shove them in there. And that raises the fluid level. Although I think it's at capacity, honestly. It's pretty much all marbles now, which I think means that I'm pretty much out of it. So I guess it's time to buy some of the M-gram stuff. It says yeah, we have more extreme uh, differences and shifts here. Lots of medium and none of those low drying colors. Oh, to make it dry in time? You're right. However, that's not what I'm going to do. So the problem is I don't really like the only colors that I know are fast drying colors is like the earth tones, and this is not an earth tone painting. So, oh well, you know, just what can you do? Sometimes just not in the cards. But yeah, no, the only colors that I know that I have that are like very quick drying are just this like, you know, umbers and those. But this is not the painting for those, so nothing I can do about it. I think technically speaking, all of my paints are in the average like speed of drying. They're not fast or slow in particularly, but you know, still can be too slow to be, ready to sell in like 2 days. Oh, we'll see. There are some other things you can do to help it dry a little faster. If I remember correctly, putting it in the heat can help it cure faster. So maybe I'll just put it in the garage. Alrighty, let's get started. So I'm working off of a photo reference that I took, but I turned the photo reference black and white so that I could mess with the colors and not worry about it. Which is a good way of giving yourself the freedom to change colors if you want to mess with with the colors of your photo reference. If I'm low energy today, it's hard for me to tell. I went and got a vaccine today. Uh, Not COVID, just what's it called, tetanus. Been a while. It had been a while, and it was over, and it was due. And so I was like, okay, I'll go get that real quick. I didn't think it would make me tired, but I am feeling kind of drained from it. I will say I am trying to avoid my phthalo blue because it does dry a little slower, I think, than everything else. I am kind of trying to avoid it if I can. That says I'm so drained, feel like I need to a day of earplugs, sit in a chair, distract myself with a video game, and just hide in my room. I mean, sometimes that's what you need to do if you can. I will say one of the annoying things about turning the image black and white is that it's a little harder to understand what I'm looking at here and there. Easy solution though. Just put the color back in. Uh, Rain, Rihanna, Noel, welcome. You show your reference photo earlier. I heard you talk about it, but I haven't seen it. No, I didn't share my photo reference. Welcome. Yeah, I didn't share my photo reference. I don't have it set up so that I can share my screen. Um, I can share the photo reference in the Discord if anybody wants. Um, I can do that later if someone reminds me. I don't mind. But I don't have it really set up that way because I've always been scared of accidentally leaking NDA related stuff. Uh, so I've always been very extra cautious about it. Yeah, if you remind me, I don't mind sharing this one. This is actually a photo reference I can share. A lot of times it's, photo reference I can't, but this time, yeah, I can. I took the photo. It's my cat, so, I don't mind. Gotcha, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, for a long time I was working from home on, uh, like on TV animation stuff, and I didn't want to accidentally, uh, show something I can't and then get fired. And then I do freelance jobs all the time, and same kind of thing. I don't want to take the chance that I'll accidentally, you know, show something. You wouldn't think it, but if I'm showing my reference in Photoshop and I work on something in Photoshop, it can show the thumbnail when you like close it or something, stuff like that. Um, I always remember this story that supposedly, and this might just be a BS story. I can't, I never corroborated it, but the story is that um, during like a visit where the stars from one of the Marvel movies went to the Marvel like studios to see the studio and everything. A secretary took a photo, you know, with one of the stars, and in the background was some papers or something on a board that they didn't notice, and she lost her job for that supposedly. So that's the myth, that I've heard. Rihanna Knoll says, "I work in medicine, so I have to worry about the possibility of accidentally showing patent info, leaving it up on my screen, etc." Yeah, yeah, exactly. Same type of thing. I mean, different sectors, obviously, but yeah. And it's surprisingly easy to accidentally do some of that stuff because, like I said, Photoshop, for instance, keeps thumbnails of everything of the last things that opened. So if I accidentally closed out something, you know, even if I didn't intend to, oops, and then it's there. But yeah, remind me in a little bit, and I'll share it in my Discord. I don't mind. I will say, generally speaking, and I'm not, like I said, I don't mind sharing this one. But generally speaking, generally a little hesitant to share my references because a lot of times, in my mind, the reference is nothing more than the jumping off point, right? Like the goal isn't to always to make it look exactly like the reference. The goal is to make a good painting, and the reference is just the starting point, right? Um, and but people can be very like what's the word? Like pedantic about it. Like, oh, you're doing this, but this is wrong or that's wrong. And it's like, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. But like I usually know when it's wrong better than other people. Not always, but often. But often if it's wrong, either I didn't notice it, which could happen, or I just didn't care enough to fix it, or I liked it wrong, you know? But people can be really weird about it sometimes. So I am sometimes I don't like sharing my reference that much. Yeah, and Noel says, to me, I like to see how someone else interpreted what they see and puts it into paint. Oh, for sure, I understand. Sorry, I don't have Discord. No worries, though. And hi, I'm Laura. Oh, and hi, Laura. Okay. Sorry, guys. I was confused for a second. Yes. I'm sorry I don't have Discord. I'm sorry you don't have Discord. I totally understand. It's just another app that I get it. I do get it. Maybe I'll try and remember I can do a post in my YouTube I can do like a YouTube community post. I don't mind doing that. And I totally understand where you're coming from about liking how people interpret the reference. I think it's to me I think it's how can I phrase this? Uh I think usually artists who use reference a lot understand like you're not trying to make a copy of the reference, but I don't think that everyone understands that all the time. It's like when you're an artist and someone says, "Oh my God, it looks just like a photo," and they mean it as a compliment, you know? But a lot of times that's not a great compliment for artists. You know, obviously for some artists that is a huge compliment, but not all artists. That is way too dark, but you know, can always go lighter. I'm slowly closing in on the cat. Like I'm first, you know, just filling the canvas and then I'm getting to the cat. So Rihanna, is it Rihanna? Am I saying that correctly, or is it Rain? You know, or something. But I'm going with Rihanna for now. I take it you're an artist. What kind of art do you do? I may change the color of the background. We'll see. I'm on the fence about it. I originally was planning on making the background kind of a bluish color, but I made the leaves more blue, um, and so I don't know if if I'll keep this or not. The reason for changing the leaves, by the way, is because I'm planning on changing the color of the cat to something that isn't entirely natural. And if everything other than the cat is all like natural colors, I'm worried that it will look, you know, wrong. But if everything's kind of wonky color wise, um, you know, then it won't matter as much. Just Rain, Reina? Okay, Reina. Got it. And the thing is that these aren't colors that are like completely like improbable, but they just kind of skew a little, like a little off, just enough that I hope the cat doesn't look too crazy color wise. Uh, Reina says, I work in watercolors, graphite, charcoal, white pencil, and some pastels. Years ago, I used to do acrylics and some oils, bit of ink, some airbrushing, but I work too much these days, unfortunately. I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, uh, uh, I mean, yes, a lot of artists do that in the sense of like, you know, a lot of different mediums, very common. Um, but also finding it hard to find time to work, to paint, or to do stuff is unfortunately, you know, challenging. I can say that if you have the space, and you don't need a ton of space, but if you do have the space, uh, having a setup, like for, I'm thinking of oils right now, but if having a setup where everything is pre-set up and all you have to do is, you know, like take out the, take out your palette or something real quick. You can get painting real fast and then, pack up real fast. I do find that to be like the way to get more art time in when you have time constraints. Oh look, it's spam over on Twitch. Oh, thanks, Des. I appreciate that. Uh, Rihanna says that would be great, hopefully someday soon. Yeah, of course. I will say, like I said, I think sometimes people think it requires a lot more than like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you have like no space, you have no space. I can't convince you like, oh no, you actually have the space you need. Like, not everyone does, right? I get it. Um, but you can, it doesn't take a ton of space. We'll put it that way. If you're very like intentional with it, and then one of the things is the cleanup. But I can say that the way I manage my brushes now, I barely clean up. Like what's it called? Um, I don't wash my brushes after every time I paint. I just rinse them out in my Gamsol, and then after I rinse them out in Gamsol, I put them in a oil bath and just keep them wet all the time. So I almost never like wash them. Um, yeah, that really cuts down on my setup time. I will say that. And if space is at a premium, there are free designs or ones that you can buy for wall mounted easels. Um, I've been looking into making my own for like, well, designing my own for other people, but there are designs out there already. Um, if you need a wall, like a wall mounted easel, so for space concerns, but look, I sometimes it's not about all of that. Sometimes it's just energy and time, and I get that too. I totally get that. There's only so much there's only so much you can do in a day, you know? I get that. So yeah, this is based off of a photo of my cat. And for anyone who hasn't seen, I have 3 cats. I assure you none of them are these colors. Um, this is based off of a photo of my, ginger cat, Dresden, but I wanted to make it a little less realistic, um, so that I don't know, just to make it a little more interesting. I have a painting of a cat that, Michelle bought me, and, you can't really tell what color the cat is. It's kind of a, black and white, uh well, it's actually a very colorful painting, but, like, the cat, you can't really tell what color it is, but it gives off energy, like, similar to Dresden. So even though the cat's, like, not really close to being Dresden's colors, it reminds me of him, and that's kind of what I was thinking about when I was thinking about this painting. Although, now that I'm looking at it, I think I have to adjust some of this a bit more. I think what I'll do is I'll have to go much lighter in certain areas to, like, bring out some white, but we'll see. I'm out of my rose, so I'm just gonna put some more out. Yeah, other than a permanent setup, um, pen and ink is often the easiest to just do at any point, or, pencils and a sketch pad type of thing, or digital. Digital is always a great, like, you can take an iPad with you almost anywhere, and whenever you have some time, open Procreate or something and sketch, but it's not the same, and I get that. A couple of years ago, um, I was visiting my mom, and I brought my iPad with me, and um, I tried painting with it, and it just was not the same. After painting so much with oils, trying to paint with digitally, it was just not it. It was really rough. And I recently did a commission that I ended up doing digitally, for a book cover, and yeah, that once again, painting digitally just is not the same. I don't know one expects it to be the same, but it's crazy how much more I enjoy painting with oils over digital. Uh, Reina, is this your first time here, or am I being stupid and forgetting your name? I'm really bad with names, so it could just be that I'm, just forgetful. But um, yeah, it also might be your first time here. And there was a specific reason I was asking. However, I forgot what that reason was. As soon as I remember, I'll let you know. There was a point to it. I don't remember why, but there was a point to it. I was gonna ask you or tell you something, but I can't remember now. I also might just be out of it because what's it called? I got a vaccine shot today. Not COVID, just what's it called? Uh, like tetanus. But I feel like I'm a little out of it because of that. Yes, YouTube suggested your feed, and I had a few minutes, so I wanted to take a look. Oh, well, welcome. I'm glad YouTube did that. Thank you so much for stopping by. And since you don't have Discord, there's my other social media stuff if you wanna, you know, if you want. No pressure either way. Um, but there's a ton of other YouTubers too, and I don't know, whole community of artists out there. So I hope uh, find your community and all and um, in YouTube and online and everything. Thank you, Des. I appreciate you sharing my social media for me. Dresden usually, not always, but usually makes an appearance on the show as well. Sometimes other cats do, but Dresden most commonly shows up. He's just a little he's just a little frustrated with me at the moment because I fed him and had the audacity not to chase him around the house after feeding him. I can probably go get him. We'll see. I have to let Wizard go downstairs to drink, so I'll do that for a second. Let's see. All right. Well, here is Misu. She was the cat I painted last time on stream. This is Misu. I painted her last time. Right there. Can't really see it on this camera, but right there. Yeah. Although I didn't include the docked ear. And then, let's see. I found the little boy. Let's see if he runs from me. Nope, he didn't run this time. Ah, this is Dresden. Hi, Dresden. Show your face. How much do you need me to turn? Show your face. There he is. Yep. Mwah. Okay, okay. I'll put you down. Yeah, I have this painting I just did of Dresden for anyone who hasn't seen it. I'm pretty happy with it. I honestly, if that painting, I swear, if that painting doesn't sell, I am going to be just absolutely dumbfounded. He looks a bit like my Sunny, another giant orange floof. Yeah. Uh, well, a lot of I've seen a few orange floofs online that they do look very similar, but they're adorable. Like there's one Waltito on Instagram. I see him a lot. Very, very cute. The thing is, he's pretty large, but he's pretty skinny too. He's not that. He's I think it was 14 pounds last time we had him weighed. So he's not huge, but he's very lanky. and the fur is just out of control. You know, so he looks a lot larger. You think your cat is part Maine Coon? Nice. I originally wanted a Maine Coon. We got a cat, Winnie, who is um, she's not a Maine Coon. There's another breed, Siberian something, or can't remember what it's called. She's super fluffy, but she's not Maine Coon. And Dresden, I don't remember. We did like the genetic test on him, but I can't remember exactly you know, the results of that, unfortunately. I was hoping he'd be even bigger. I wanted him to be like, you know, 30 pounds or something like that. I wanted a giant cat. What is it? The other breed of cat that I've always wanted is a ragdoll. The Norwegian forest cat. Have I seen that? I don't recall what it looks like off the top of my head. Although, just for clarification, we rescued all our cats. Dresden was actually given up to a shelter. I have no idea who would ever give up such a cute kitten because we got him as a kitten. I don't know what insanity someone was like, yeah, we'll just give up this cute kitten because I don't know why. Like, it's just crazy. I'll have to look up the Norwegian forest cat. I also have to, like I said, I'm trying to remember what Winnie is because she's a very specific partial breed, and I cannot remember off the top of my head. Says they're similar to Maine Coons, but nose isn't as broad. That might be Winnie. She has a very like pointy, uh, you know, face. Uh, and I say, uh, you know, partial, unless she's not like a purebred or anything like that. Uh, Reina says, of course, all cats are beautiful to me. I am a sucker. I am too, but not all cats. There are some cats that have like there's a I don't know what breed it is or what but there's one genetic trait of these cats that have this like very long kind of nose. Um they remind me of like Dobby from the um from what's it called? Harry Potter kind of. And I do not like that look. And they're still cute, but definitely not my favorite. There's also the what is it? The cats, the hairless cats. Those ones I'm on the fence about because I've seen some of them that are ugly, adorable. Yeah. Reina says ugly is still adorable. It yeah, it is. Yeah, I get that. I agree. Because they're cats. And then there's the one I can't remember the name of the breed, but there's one breed that's like they only have partial hair. They're really weird looking. But yeah, they're kind of funny. They're kind of adorable, ugly as well. So at the moment, my technique for painting the fur is to try and put down the dark shade that's like in between the fur, and then to paint you know, the light areas on top of that. I usually have to end up going back and forth a little between them. It's never like one pass and done. However, that is my kind of go-to method at the moment. I absolutely hate how sticky all my paint is already. Jeez, I don't normally use solvents or um yeah, I don't normally use solvents and I don't normally use um quick drying mediums. Um and I am using a quick drying medium today and I do not like them. That's why I don't use them usually. I do not like how they make the paint feel. This is just crazy. My paint's already going on. I'm already getting dry brush effects. on fresh paint. It's just insanity. So, for anyone who doesn't know, uh, I am going to be vending or showing, or however you want to phrase it. I have a booth at a local art fair uh, here in Austin. It's in the fair is Oktoberfest in Round Rock, and I will have a table there or a booth. And so I've been doing different paintings to try and I'm trying to get them done quickly for the event. So I've been trying to do quick, smaller paintings specifically so that I have more you know entry level, budget friendly paintings for some people because I have enough of the other sizes, and so I wanted to get a variety. If anyone is in Round Rock, come to Oktoberfest. It's free. Looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll be there. Oh, I will say if you do have cats and you want to use oil paints, you do have to be extra cautious about fumes. Cats are a little more sensitive um, to some airborne things than we are. Just a heads up to anyone who doesn't know that. Be cautious with ventilation, or don't use any solvents at all. You can paint without solvents. Um, yeah, it is doable. Pretty sure I got some of these. Like some of the placement here is a little off of the leaves and stuff. Not that it really matters. Yeah, I'm gonna have to change the background. I thought I could leave the background like a brown. but I feel like it is. The cat just stands out too much being the wrong color. So I have to kind of adjust things a little. And if this still looks wrong, I'll just, I don't know, change the color. I would say I'd wipe it all off and start over, but with how sticky everything is already becoming, I don't think I can even do that if I wanted to. It's a bit messy at the moment, but I think it looks better already. So I am just going to take this photo right now and put it in the computer so that I can reference where everything is, see how off everything is. For anyone who isn't familiar with this technique, I do it in Photoshop, but there's a ton of programs you can use. Um, and all I do is I basically what's the word I'm looking for? I overlay the two on top of each other, and then I can see where, you know, things are off. It's kind of like tracing or using a projector. It doesn't help with a lot of things, but it does help with the just kind of the edges of certain things. But yeah, because I don't have my screen set up, you can't really see it in my screen either. So unfortunately, it's always a bit awkward when I do that, but because I do have to go step off camera to do it, or somewhat off camera at least. See, my hand's still here. Some of it's pretty spot on. There's a few things that are a little bit off, but not too bad. Yeah, I knew some of the leaves were like way off. That, that I will say. I did kind of see that coming. So I think the two things I definitely need to do in this painting is bring up a lot of the saturation in general and lower some of the saturation on the cat a little. But we'll see. This ear is the thing I got the most wrong. I really don't like painting fur. I will say that. That is one thing I'm not a fan of. I do realize that cats are, full of fur. Trust me. But yeah, not my favorite. I think the thing is when painting fur, my initial inclination is like to get a brush that kind of does the fur texture and to start, just brushing away at it to get that, fur texture. That's always like my initial like instinct. And I think that unless you want to be bound to that, it's probably not a great instinct. I know personally that is not the kind of, painting I want to do. So I have to be very cautious with that. Honestly, I'm using GalKid. I can, I can vouch for it or recommend it in the sense that it does what it says it's going to do. It makes everything dry faster. Ugh. But are you going to enjoy the experience of painting with it? That I do not know. I don't know how you could, but everyone's different. Is the fair the entire weekend? Will you stream Sunday? I will not stream Sunday. It it is Friday. It it starts technically it starts at I think 4 or 5 on Friday and goes till 9 p.m. Sunday is from the morning, I don't remember the exact time, till 9 p.m. And Sunday, hey Alexander Davenport, welcome. And Sunday is from um, the morning till like 5, and then you have to break down and everything, break down the tent and everything. Hey Alexander Davenport, welcome. How are you doing today? By the way, in case someone doesn't know, I have two chats running at the same time. One's on Twitch and one's on YouTube. So if I'm talking to ghosts, it's probably the other chat. How are you doing today? Alexander Davenport still streams. I don't actually I haven't seen him stream in a while, but I haven't been on Twitch as much. You're illustrating for an animation. Oh, awesome. That's great. What is the animation you're illustrating for? Do you want to share it? You're welcome to if you do. You'll share it when you know you're allowed. Oh, absolutely. I didn't know if it was you know, I didn't know what you're working on, so um but you can also if you want to share the project in general or, but whatever you can share or don't share, all good. I know how it goes. Well, congratulations, man. I'm happy for you. Hopefully it'll be picked. Oh wait, it's a kids cartoon, a a fantasy show. Hopefully it gets picked up. Hey, I hope so. I'm trying to tone down some of the like vibrancy of the color. I still want it to be vibrant. However, one of the things that I'm reminded of is if you've ever watched the Hulk movies over the years, the Hulk becomes duller and duller in color over the years because that like comic book, you know, green just isn't natural and it makes it look less believable. So I am toning down some of the vibrance and pumping up the vibrancy of like the background a bit to kind of even things out. The other option would be to make this practically a monochrome or something like that. Like if I just painted the background in all the same exact colors, then that would also solve the problem. One thing also to keep in mind is that darker colors often less saturated because there's less light, so you can't see it as well. So if you make them less saturated, it it's more believable versus the very bright color light colors. Yeah, it's a shame more of you aren't in Austin this week, purely for the fact that it would be a good time to have you all come to the Oktoberfest. I was thinking of maybe, just maybe trying to stream from my cell phone for a little bit on Sunday, but I don't know how busy it'll be, how my reception will be, no idea. So, not gonna promise anything. Alexander Davenport, if you're still here. Are you still streaming? Are you still painting? Or is your time fully consumed with the animated show? Mm, which would be understandable. Just curious. There we go. Now we have some perspective. I feel like getting in those brights really help with the perspective of all the uh, the range of colors that or range of values that can be achieved now. So one of the challenging things here is there's shadows from the leaves on the cat, which is really hard to tell sometimes because of the fur pattern. So trying to distinguish between that is challenging. The big one is this shadow right here. Let's see here. Um, my phone keeps buzzing. Let me make sure nothing important. Well, we're almost at the 2 hour mark, and usually on Wednesdays I keep it around that. I think last Wednesday I did like 3 hours, but today I'm definitely not feeling it. Had the shot and everything. So I think I'm gonna call it a day a little early. Preston, come say goodbye to everybody. You're so much prettier than the painting of you. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can lick my nose. Thank you. Your breath stinks. Oh, you're so squirmy. You're so squirmy. Okay. Kristen says goodbye. I say goodbye. I will probably not stream Sunday because of the art fair, but usually I stream Sundays and Wednesdays. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks so much for joining me. See you next week. Yeah, see you next week. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Raina, welcome. Good luck with Dart Fair. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I hope to see you around to all the new faces. And yeah, I will post that reference later. But yeah, bye everybody.